Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dark Souls. I'm your host, Crazy Mike, and we just, in last episode, what did we do? We killed the Asylum Demon, we killed Quelaag, we found this Covenant, and now we're going to continue moving on. We need to get back up top to the outside world. I guess that's how you put that. But yeah, we're going to make our way back to Firelink Shrine, because now that we've rung both bells of awakening, we have opened up the gates to Sen's Fortress, which will allow us to progress more through the game. Which is great. So great. But, yeah, so, I wonder why you have to ring both those bells of awakening to open Sen's Fortress. And, you know, you hear that bell on the top rang all the time, so wouldn't the people who open the gate maybe, you know, maybe they would hear you ring one bell and somebody else ring another bell and open the gate? I don't understand why they always know it's you. Or why they happen to know it's you. But either way, let's just get back up. I guess even though the bell rings, I guess all of the bell rings that aren't yours isn't canon to the story. The bell just, whenever you hear a bell ring that isn't you, just ignore it. It never actually happened. So actually, we're about to go back to the swamp. Rusted Iron Ring. Also, I didn't mention last episode, the reason why we were going so far on this side was to avoid the enemies over there who like to push around big old rocks and hurt you really bad with them. Mostly because they don't really offer much reward for killing them. So there's not too much reward to go and fight them. But there actually is an item around here which I could probably use. So I'm gonna go and grab it first before we make our way out of here. But actually, before that, I'm going to rest at the bonfire over here. That way, if I die for whatever reason, I will not have to run back through, Quelaag's domain and stuff like that. I'll just spawn right over here. And while I'm here, I might as well also show you guys a great way to farm green Titanite shards, as well as, not the best way, but it's also a way to farm Titanite shards, because the enemies who drop the green Titanite shards can also drop large Titanite shards. We'll loot this, because he has a nice soul on him. That's a nice soul you have there, lad. I'm just gonna take it. So we're gonna make our way over here, and you'll notice, or will we notice? Yes, you'll notice a big guy carrying a boulder nearby. Good thing we have the rusted iron ring. Oh, I didn't even see that second one. But good thing we were invulnerable through the backstab, sort of. No, we're not anymore. But as you can see, he took away like half my health in that one hit, which is why you originally want to avoid the 3 that are over there. They are very deadly. We're going to try to use our backstab and vulnerability frames to take these guys out, which, in Dark Souls 2, they're talking about how they're taking my backstab and vulnerability frames, which I think is a good idea, because as you can see, I'm actually taking out these guys quite easily by just rushing for the back and being invulnerable to the people from that point on. This guy dropped some poop. This guy probably also dropped some poop. Yep. And over here we will find the Great Club. Now, the Great Club is basically a gigantic mace, similar to the Grant and other clubs. So we need 28 strength to one-hand this. We're actually 1 point away, so we can actually get that at the bonfire really quick, so then we can one-hand this big old club. I'm not sure if we'll be able to continue fast rolling, though, unless maybe our guy goes shirtless again, which I know all you sick bastards want to see. And there's a guy actually resting here. Quite interesting. So, let's level up. We'll get our strength up. We're actually going to level up our strength maybe quite a bit. Now, we'll just get up to 28 for now. And other than that, we will also get our faith up. We'll get that up to 18. We'll level up our endurance once. And that should be good right there. Now let's just take a look at this Great Club. Actually, it's not much heavier than the Zweihander, so we might actually not be medium rolling. Yeah, we still fast roll, which is nice. It's a pretty nice weapon. A lot of people would argue that the regular club is, or the large club is better, which I would actually agree. The large club causes poison damage, and its R2 attacks are much better, but it requires a significant amount of farming. So usually, sometimes you get lucky and you get it really quick, which I actually have before. But while I'm, talking about clubs, or these great clubs, uh, or these giant two-handed hammers, I should probably mention that if you do a one-handed rolling attack, you'll do this wide spin. But if you do a two-handed one, you'll smash the ground like this. Now, what's so special about this smash is that it actually cannot be parried. I think I've heard some instances where maybe somebody parried it, but I believe the only times I've ever actually seen that happen was like one time, and the guy was on a massive incline, so it probably messed with the hitbox a bit. So, you should be able to not only reliably, but depend on not getting the parried when you use this move. So maybe if you're using a big hammer, and it's actually, the hammers are so slow, you can actually parry them on reaction oftentimes. So if you're going against somebody who likes to parry, this can be very important. This can be a very important skill for you to use to avoid those parries. Especially if you switch between one-handed and two-handed a lot. Maybe even if you switch to two-handed just before rolling, they might not notice that you switch to two-handed and will think that you're going to do this particular move and will try to parry it. But you'll end up doing this move and just blow their brains out, which is always nice. So, what's our damage with this particular weapon? 203. What was it with this Vihander? It is 268. So for now, we're gonna stick with this Vihander. We're probably gonna upgrade that great club, and we might even use that for a while, because I do want to get into the habit of using these giant maces, because I almost never use them. So we're gonna make our way back up where we came. And we're probably gonna fight those big guys on the way out, on the odd chance that they actually do drop the large club, because that would actually be pretty nice, especially if it happens now, because then I won't have to do. Oh god, I fell down. I'm actually okay, which surprises me. I don't think I've ever actually fallen down there that way before, which is a YouTube curse. So yeah, we got poisoned again. I'll cure that in a moment. In fact, I'll cure that right now. There we go. No, let's not jump down just yet. Now let's go. Alright. Now, we killed like all but one of those toxic shooting guys, so we probably won't have to worry about them when passing by again. Just make our way up these ladders, because it's one hell of a climb out of here. And I'm kind of having a lack of things to say, backtracking through an area we've already been. I feel like I've mentioned a lot of the stuff that needs to be said about this area coming down here, so, going back through, I kind of feel there's a lack of things that really need to be said. But we will try to take out those big giant guys with the clubs, and the hope that maybe they'll drop one of their clubs. Also, there's a treasure chest back here. I probably should have went over this, but if you don't have the master key, this is where you get the key to go through that door I went through earlier on the way here in the previous episode that I, used the master key to open. Right, so let's try to only piss off one guy at a time. Of course, the other group shows up in, groups of two, so that might be easier said than done. You can actually parry these guys too. I think I will try to demonstrate that, but maybe not on this guy, because I have him right where I want him. I can chain stab him to death. What does he drop? He didn't. Oh, he didn't even drop poo. That's insane. Also, I should really re-equip my Wolf Ring. Oh, I pissed off both. And just like that, you can parry them and hit them with a riposte, which is nice, because you fight those giant guys before. I mean, not these giant guys, but oh god, you gotta be really careful. These guys hit like trucks. But we're fine now. Not even going to bother two-handing my weapon, because that other guy was coming in and I needed those invulnerability frames. And they are taken care of. Hey, look at that, we got the large club. What do you know? Oh, we got, wow. Well, I'm glad that's going to be on YouTube. Holy shit. Luckiest man in the world. Oh, man. That's insane. So these don't take as much strength as the large club, but they also don't quite do as much damage, but they cause poison, which is super nice. The large club might actually be better in PvE. I mean, yeah, the large club might be better in PvE, while the regular clubs will be better in PvP. Wait, actually, wait, are they both called large clubs? No, great club, okay. So wow, that's pretty funny that I got two of those rare items at once. I guess now I can dual wield them, eh? Which I'm actually surprised. Normally when you're trying to get an item, or you're hoping to get an item, you never get it. But when you don't care, you get it all the time. So I'm surprised I actually wanted to get those and got them. There was one time where I accidentally killed the male undead merchant, and I realized I actually wanted to buy a buckler from him. So I was farming the Balder Knights in the undead parish for a while, trying to get a buckler, and they drop like 3 pieces of every other thing that they can drop before they drop the buckler, which ended up actually taking me over an hour to get, which was annoying. And then the game after that I played where I wasn't looking for a buckler, very first good one I killed dropped the buckler, so that's Dark Souls in a nutshell. Alright, so if you actually didn't kill Lautrec, this lady would be dead at this point in the game. And you would not be able to rest at this bonfire, at least not right now. You would be able to rest it again later, provided you actually do the side quest involving Lautrec. But with that, we're going to start heading over to Sen's Fortress. Maybe we'll be able to even get through Sen's Fortress before this episode's over, which would be nice. And actually, I just realized I completely forgot to show you the green Titanite shard farming location. I'll probably get to that to a later episode, I guess. Especially since I'm probably going to be going through the Great Hollow at some point, so you'll all get to skip then. Because they are right outside the Great Hollow. Great Hollow is also a great place to try and get Titanite slabs. I mean, it's not a farming location because you cannot repeatedly run it, but it's good to run through each playthrough because I actually have gotten 2 Titanite slabs there before in just a couple minutes. Just going to ignore these guys and run right past them. Probably going to use Quailag's soul to acquire even more souls. That way I can buy shards to upgrade my equipment with. Now I actually forgot if I even have any large shards. I do not, so actually I might be making a side trip, I think. I believe I will, actually. So apologies for actually running all the way here, and then I'm going to be running all the way back to Firelink Shrine. My apologies. I don't feel it's going to take so long that it's going to require an edit, and I'm going to be doing what I wanted to do at Firelink Shrine in no time, and I think you guys probably should see what it is. Again, apologies for the unnecessary amount of time being spent on this. But yes, I did notice that I had no large shards, which, while we will get large shards in Sen's Fortress, I like to have my weapon begin its upgrade into the 6 to 10 upgrade range before we go in there. That way I can upgrade weapons on the go. I won't have to run back to a blacksmith to upgrade it from 5 to 6. Once you upgrade it to 6, you can upgrade it to 10 yourself without the need of a blacksmith, and then, you know, once you upgrade it to 11, you can upgrade it to 15 on your own without the use of a blacksmith, and so on. Because the reason why is those are Ascension, and the way the blacksmith explains it. Also, you'll notice this new guy, but back to, we'll talk to him, then we'll talk about Ascension.
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening? I am the primordial serpent, Kingseeker Frampt, close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the bell of awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment?
Now, one awesome thing about this guy, you can actually say no to him, and you get a pretty funny reaction.
By the lords, are you certain? Well, perhaps I was wrong. There can be only one chosen undead. I will continue my search. You are freed from duty. But then again, you did ring the bell of awakening. I will stay here a while. Speak with me if you should change your mind.
That's why it's okay to say no. He will actually give you the option to change your mind. So let's talk to him
What brings you here?
again and change your
Had
mind.
a change of heart about your fate?
Yes, I did.
Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen undead.
Right, so this guy just tells us we gotta succeed Lord Gwen, and we gotta go to in Orlando as our next step. So
I am
we're gonna talk to him again, and we can actually feed him our upgrade materials, which will downgrade them into lower level upgrade materials, but it will also give you them in a larger quantity. So we are going to feed him our Titanite chunks, like 1 or 2. Because you can actually farm these later, so I don't feel bad about using them.
Farewell.
And by getting rid of 2, we get about 6 large Titanite shards, which is pretty good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is run back to the blacksmith again. And actually, I don't think we rested at the bonfire, so I can skip that run back for all of you guys. And we didn't, so yeah, so here we are. We'll run down to the blacksmith, talk to him about weapon ascension. We're also probably going to upgrade those clubs. I think I'm going to upgrade the great club, not the large clubs, just because. But then again, the large clubs have a very nice skill set. Anyway, let's give this guy the large ember. But oh right, ascension. You can upgrade weapons all you want, but
Hardly wait to get started.
in order to ascend them, you need a blacksmith like this guy to do it. And ascension will basically allow you to upgrade. It will allow you to upgrade from like 5 to 10, but the upgrading from 5 to 10 you can do yourself, but you need him to allow you, which the way that'll work is, see, now I can upgrade this to 6 by ascending it, and then from 7 to 10 I can do that myself. So we can reinforce weapons. We don't have any Titanite shards, so we'll have to buy some. We barely have enough to get the large club or the great club upgraded, but what we're going to do is we're going to pop Quailag's soul to get more souls, because what you can do with these boss souls is actually turn them into weapons, but Quailag's soul will not turn into a weapon that I will be able to use, so we're just going to expend it. Why is everything silent? I don't understand. That was really weird. I don't know if that happened for you guys too. It's like the sound just kind of fell behind and tried to catch up. So anyway, now we use that soul. We have lots of extra souls. Let's upgrade the great club. Mainly just because I really like the way the great club looks in comparison to the large club. Large clubs just look like big logs, whereas the great club actually just looks like a really big club. You know, it actually gets bigger towards the end. So we're going to upgrade both of these to +6, because now we can upgrade them on our own without his help, but, you know, actually, let me just make sure that we actually have not purchased the weapon smith box, so that's actually important. That will allow us to upgrade these things on our own. And, you know, while I'm here, I should also purchase the armor smith box, so I don't have to get to a blacksmith to upgrade my armor later if I so choose.
Well,
Crest Laboratorius, we will get that later, and we will see what that is at that point. So we can now upgrade our weapons. We're going to upgrade the club over the Zweihander, just because, you know, I almost never use clubs, so I feel maybe it'd be a good idea to get more extensive use with the club. So, also, the Zweihander is technically a quality weapon because it scales rather well with dexterity, whereas the club is like a pure strength weapon. All you need to really use it well is strength. So with the Zweihander we do 290 damage. I mean, note that the club is also upgraded more, so it's gotta be more than that. With the club we do 379 damage. That's a lot more. In fact, let's look at the scaling of the club. It's B scaling in strength and no scaling in anything else, so yes, it really is just a pure strength weapon. Right, so now let's make our way into Sen's Fortress. The gate is open because we bring both Bells of Awakening. And you know what? We're getting close to time, so it seems like it'd be a better idea to stop at the start of Sen's Fortress than, you know, halfway through. So with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. And yeah, I'm bad at outros because I can't think of what to say. I'll see you guys next time.